Good morning. My name is Alexios. I'm the Raptor Freak, and I am reacting to the Raptors losing to the Celtics last night. And as you can tell, I'm real thrilled. All right. So Nick Nurse started the small ball lineup again last night, and we saw what happened. Robert Williams looked like a superstar. The man went like 8 for 11. What was it? What did he go? He was like messed up, man. 8 for 11 from the field with 13 rebounds and a plus 20 in point differential. And that's not acceptable. If we play a real center or a real big guy, this wouldn't happen. Yeah, Gene, welcome, man. I'm here for you, bro. I'm here for you with you. There's a couple of things that I don't like about last night that are making me think things today. And I don't like thinking them. And one of them is I think we're going to have to trade one of our guys. Yeah, I'm not big on trade talk and I'm not big on speculating things, but there's a deficiency on this team that we need to fill, and that's a center. We need a real center. Kem is a good enough center, but if he's not playing, we need depth at least at center or something like that. I don't know. I didn't realize Kem Birch was essential for us to win. Like, absolutely essential. Absolutely essential. Because he holds down our defense. He's getting our offensive rebounds. Because we didn't get any more offensive rebounds again last night, just like in Brooklyn. And what's the common denominator? No Kem. And, we started the game without a center, and Robert Williams ate us up right away. And that was killing us. That set the tone for Boston. That opened up all their outside shots. That made things easier for them. And then all of a sudden you had guys like Romeo Langford coming in, hitting corner threes. You had Horford was operating last night. Operating. Because he had a rookie on him. A rookie who shouldn't have been guarding him in some ways. There were so many things about last night that bugged me. There are other things like where they just quit at some points. They just stopped trying. Or what the hell? What I was saying, like, OG, you can't be Homer Simpson backing into the hedge. You got to show up when things get rough. And once again, he had his flashes of being super aggressive down near the basket and putting it in, but his shot wasn't falling and he wasn't aggressive. In fact, sometimes he looked like he was aloof and just not engaged, just not involved in the whole scheme of the game or anything, just not interested. Like, what's going on with you, OG? I look at you sometimes on the bench and you're spacing out and you're looking like you're thinking about things halfway around the world. Like, what is going on with you, man? Like, you were so dialed in preseason. And then during this, like that win streak, you look really good. I kept telling people, yeah, we got a superstar. He can be a superstar. You're not a superstar, man. You're not. Because any one of y'all should have stepped up and been a superstar last night. Now, I could look at the four main guys on our rotation and talk about each one of them. And, I'll say Scotty looked like a superstar the most out of anybody last night. He looked like a superstar because he was going in there battling for rebounds. He was getting in there close. He got 20 points. He was our leading scorer. He did a lot of good things last night. Scotty should not be looking like our superstar, especially when we're making him guard Al Horford to start the game. That's messed up. We should not be. Al Horford ate us up. He's nobody that should be beating us. We should be able to contain Al Horford. We got the right guys. I think Nick Nurse failed with like his matchups. The way he was running the rotations was awful. We saw that dreaded 2-point guard lineup again last night, and it messed up when Malachi and Fred were out there together. It was not good. I know they were trying to chase their little guards, but we did horrible in that period of time. We did not do well in the game. The point differential was awful. And I'm not that mad at Fred, guys. To be honest, Fred played good last night. Fred was doing a good job passing the ball, and he did different things. He could have stepped up and tried to score more in some ways, but Fred was okay. He got 4 threes, and nobody else was doing anything else, like, honestly. So I give Fred a pass, and I actually think Fred did a lot of, like, good things going in the right direction. But then I look at Pascal and OG, and I'm just like, what the hell? What the hell? Now, I understand this is only Pascal's second game back. But once again, I blame Nick Nurse. Why are you starting him at center? You're putting him at a disadvantage right away with him coming back. And this just pisses me off. Y'all need to get away from this small ball. Small ball makes me think of last year, and we're a 500 team under small ball. Small ball is not a good philosophy. And I hate the fact that we don't have any center on this team right now, that every other team in the league has centers, and they dominate people with their centers. Like Robert Williams dominated us last night. You know, it's going to be going tonight. We're going to see Drummond go out there and dominate us down low tonight. You know, it's just going to be the next big guy, the next big guy. That's why I think there's a failure in the building of our team, that we do not have depth at the 5 position. We're doing it with smoke and mirrors right now, and we're doing it with fake ass centers, because these aren't centers. Ken Birch is a real center, but without him, we got nobody. And I have to give some credit to Precious, though, because Precious actually did hold it down and do pretty good with defense in the second half. We were doing great on defense. We were finally stopping them. But you know what? We didn't have anything on the other end. You can't win a game when you're already down 15, but you can't score. You can stop them over and over again. Do really good on defense like they did. They held the Celtics to less points in the second half, and it was really good. It was like 42 points in the second half or something like that. That's really good. But it didn't matter because you couldn't get any points on the other end. If you can't score on the other end, you can't win the game, guys. And I blame OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam for this, because these are our scorers. These are the guys who are supposed to be unstoppable at any time. And once again, they disappeared. They didn't do shit. They looked awful. Like Pascal looked bad last night. Pascal stuck out like a sore thumb and looked bad in our rotations on defense. He looked bad in offense. Like, just not good. Not good, man. You're not $33 million good, bro. And OG, you got to stop disappearing, man. You got to be more assertive with your personality. I really thought you would step up because of this Jason Tatum thing you're building. You and Jason Tatum. But no, you play passive and you kind of fell into the hedge like Homer does. And then you know what else happened? After the game, I saw you chumming around with Tatum after the game, and that pissed me off because that reminded me of Vince Carter and what he used to do. He'd play a half-ass game where he'd play half-ass, and then he'd be all smiles with his opponent after the game. You know, OG, you really pissed me off last night because you're showing a side of you that's old that we shouldn't have to see anymore, because you're elevating your game. You're in a new level, bro. You can't be like going down to your old levels and being like that anymore. You need to shoot a high percentage, and you need to be aggressive. And you're not doing that, man. You're not doing that. The defense may be there. Yeah, you held Tatum in pretty good check for the most part in a lot of different ways. But we need you to score. We need you to score. And you're not doing that, man. You're not. 16 points on 5 of 16 shooting or something like that. What was it? Let me look at this right now. 6 of 14 from the line, 14 points. That's not good enough, OG. That's not good enough, especially since Nick Nurse is putting y'all on in for 35 minutes a game. 35 minutes a game. Y'all are getting a big chunk of the game, and you ain't producing. We ain't going to win any games if y'all are going to be like this. And Nick Nurse, you may just need to seriously consider cutting your rotation minutes down for different people, like the starters. Like, these guys shouldn't be playing 35 minutes if they're not going to produce, if they're not going to score. I'm sorry. They can't. They can't play that much. Give those minutes to somebody on the bench who may be ready to go and may be ready to play and score a lot. Because, like, I don't like this. I don't like the rotations. We look at the bench scoring. We only got 15 points off the bench. And then our starters didn't do jack shit. And I'm going to say what was something else. Precious did really good last night. He played good defense in the second half, and he was the only one in there battling for rebounds. Like, seriously, we're getting beat on rebounds. We're getting beat on all these statistics. 2 days ago, I was talking about how great the Raptors are about not allowing turnovers, getting more turnovers and steals, getting more offensive rebounds, getting more shots than the other team, and you failed. You failed in both games in the last 2 games. And this one, you ended up getting almost 20 less shots than the Celtics. And that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm glad that we are playing again tonight. And I'm glad we're playing against a really shorthanded Philadelphia team. This team for Philadelphia is really shorthanded. They're missing all kinds of everybody. And there's no excuse for us to lose tonight. And I have a feeling the way they're feeling right now that they're going to come out with some fire, and they're really going to try not to lose tonight. But they need to watch out, because right now we're a 500 team. And we're going on a West Coast road trip next week, and things are going to get tougher and tougher. And they need to figure their shit out. We need to figure out who's going to step up and be a scorer, be a maybe a superstar or a pseudo superstar for a night and show up and do some scoring for us? And who's gonna be the center? Who's gonna be our center? We need this depth, Masai. We need this depth, Bobby Webster, at the 5 position. I'm sick of this smoke and mirrors at the 5. This NBA still has on the down low centers playing. We didn't go directly away from the Jonas Valanciunas, Patrick Ewing NBA guys. There's still centers out there and they still kill people. And we don't have anybody for that right now. I don't care how long our team is overall. This isn't going to work. Because the big guy will beat us no matter what, because what we saw last night. We'll see that. Yeah, Scotty Barnes can't stop Al Horford. Pascal Siakam can't stop Robert Williams III. These are problems. These are huge problems. And what I'm thinking needs to happen, and I'm not going to say specifically, but I think that one of these 2 pseudo superstars with big contracts may need to get traded for a big man, like a center, and maybe not even somebody that's that good of a center, like just a package deal, like Jared Allen. Jared Allen straight up for one of those 2 guys right now. I'd take it. I'd take it because I just want some center stability. I want somebody down there that I know can count on anchoring our defense. And we don't have that when you play small with Pascal at the center and OG and Scotty at the forwards and Gary and Fred at the guards. We don't have that with that. Pascal Siakam is not a center. He cannot play center. He cannot guard centers. He cannot box out centers. He cannot out-rebound centers. He can barely score against centers. So why the hell do we want to match him up against a center? Go get some other big guys and put him out there with him. I don't give a shit. Put Precious out there with him. Put Chris Boucher out there with him. I don't give a shit. Pascal Siakam is not a 5. So stop playing him at 5. It's pissing me off. All right, let's see. All right, I'll get to see what you guys are saying now. Gee, I think the team is too nice. What I mean is OG trying to get Pascal going. Players thinking about Scotty being rookie of the year, get him going. Yeah, there's a passivity in this team. And like I said, the analogy I've been using this week is the volleyball game where 4 people stand there and watch the ball just fall down in the middle and hit the ground, and the other team gets a point. Somebody does need to step up. And this is why teams have figurehead leading scorers and guys that are in charge. And Pascal maybe is that guy, and he's just not ready to come back and be it fully because he's not full speed yet. But I was really hoping that we could have a dual threat or even a triple threat. And in, some ways, because we have this glut of what you're talking about, G, maybe we need to send one of them away to get somebody that will give us something different that we're lacking. And that's the center thing that I'm talking about. That, we could have these 3 amigos, Scotty, OG, and Pascal. And I know which one I want to keep for sure. Oh, yeah, we know which one we want to keep for sure. And it's not the 2 guys we've had longer. But if we could maybe move one of these guys sometime this season for a really good big man, a defensive big man. He doesn't even have to be a scoring big man. He can be a big man that blocks shots and rebounds and plays really good defense. I'll be very happy because these 3 guys are duplicitous to a degree. And honestly, they're not firing on all cylinders together. Then they're not worth as much as they should be. And I know that OG's a premium defensive player and stuff like that. And maybe that's not somebody we want to get rid of. And Pascal, a lot of people talked about wanting to get rid of him for a while. And, he's been an all-star. He's done different things for us. But these guys aren't really superstars in a way. OG could be because he was speculated to be like a number 6 pick before he got hurt in his draft. And then he fell into the 20s. Pascal was always a second-round guy. So maybe Pascal's just where he is. And this is the inconsistency, and these are the things we're going to have to deal with him. You need to get really consistent, Pascal. You need to be the man. You need to be a badass. You need to exert yourself out and do it all. And you need to be, Nick Nurse needs to stop putting you out of position because you're doomed to fail when he does this to you. This is the same thing that happened last year. When you started center last year, you looked bad. You got hurt. You didn't finish your shots. You couldn't do a lot of things that you do normally consistently when you're not playing center. When you're playing next to Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka, when you're playing with a real big man and you're not the big man. Oh my gosh. I don't understand why they can't see this. Because in the press conference last night, Lewenberg and Zatzman, they both asked Nick Nurse and them, do you miss Kem Birch? And they kind of poo-pooed it off. And I'm like, dude, you need to listen to these guys because I think you do miss Kem Birch a lot. And you need to listen to Lewenberg. He said, do you think that you guys miss Kem Birch tonight? I don't know if it was them. Yeah, you did, Nick Nurse. You did miss Kem Birch last night, and it was bad. It was really bad. All right, let's see. Gee, I agree putting Pascal at center is hurting the team, and people blaming Pascal for losses. Yeah, it's not totally Pascal's fault. He's playing out of position. He shouldn't have that burden. This whole idea of playing a small team and run around is stupid, especially because this year the games are slowed down. They're more physical, and they're letting a lot of fouls go away. Like they're swallowing the whistle. So we need big guys just to battle their big guys. Like what the hell's going to happen when we play Jokic? What the hell's going to happen? I mean, seriously. And thank God Embiid's not playing tonight. Embiid might have gone out for 40 tonight on us. Something like that. You know, we need to win tonight. We really need to win tonight. And I'm glad. All right. Pascal's out tonight. He's not playing tonight. So Precious will be starting. We will have a starting center. Thank God. And, that's going to be tough because we're playing against Drummond. Drummond ate us up. But, of course, we know the inefficiencies of Drummond's game. We can capitalize on him and stuff like that. He's high usage. He's slow. There's all kinds of things that we can capitalize on because of Drummond. And, they're really hurt. Like, they don't have Embiid. They don't have Tobias Harris. They don't have Seth Curry. They don't have Thibault. They don't have, they have Isaiah Joe's out. They have like 6-7 guys out. And they're starting guys like Korkmaz. And like Danny Green is like coming off the bench. And he's, their team is really messed up right now. So we really need to win tonight. If we lose tonight, I'm going to be so pissed off tomorrow. It's part of what, all right, this has been me in the last 25 years. I am like E.T. and the team is like the geranium. So when the team is, I'm the geranium and they are ET. When ET is not doing well and the geranium's like, I'm like that. When they start losing, I'm like depressed, angry, mad. I'm just like not a nice person when the Raptors are in a losing streak or in a bad place. So I don't want to get worse. So we need to pull out of this. We need to win tonight, and we need to obviously beat Detroit on Saturday because we're going out west, and it's going to be tough. And the more we slide under 500, or if we slide under 500, I'm going to be more and more pissed off and not fun. I'm going to be more like depressed, and just these streams will get weird. Trust me, they'll get weird. But the real ones will stick with me, and we'll talk it out, and we'll figure it out. But, yeah. All right, yeah. MK, yeah. Does Scotty go to the bench yet? Yes. He went to the bench for FSU last year. It was not a big deal. He has no problem coming off the bench. In fact, he's kind of gotten a luxury to be able to start these couple games. But I really do think that Scotty should come off the bench, and it just makes our bench so much better in some ways. And like he's versatile enough that, I would actually look at him as a backup center if he's coming off the bench instead of having to play starter minutes and play, forward and, wing kind of stuff. Because like he could play backup center if he gets to focus most of his energy on that and do that kind of thing with that mentality off the bench. But no, not like in the starting lineup and not the way it went down last night. It's not good. So G thinks Scotty should start in his opinion. So have no idea who should come off the bench. Well, we talked about Gary then. Gary coming off the bench instead. Or what not start big? Fred maybe need to come off the bench. I know that sounds absolutely batshit crazy, but start a tall lineup with a center and Scotty Barnes at point guard. Why not? Scotty Barnes, Gary Trent, OG Pascal, and Kem Birch when he's healthy. That would be my favorite lineup in some ways because of the height and because of those kind of things. But Fred may be too essential for leadership and keeping us like going in the right way. So I don't know. It's a tough question. It's just a tough dilemma in all kinds of ways. And this is part of the reason why I'm thinking, well, why don't we trade for a center? We trade one of these really premium guys for a really good center, like a good center, like get a good center, like a starting center on another team right now that is already comes like really, really good, like Jared Allen or Gafford or Ayton. Or what the hell? Marvin Bagley won't even come into the game for Luke Walton in Sacramento. There's centers on other teams that won't even play for their coach, and we can't even get one center on our team. This is messed up. Like, I seriously think there is a shadow ban on the Raptors to having centers since Mark and Serge left. And that I don't know why Masai is complying with it. I don't know why they think this kind of philosophy is going to work. I don't think it will. I don't think this is going to win because obviously if we get any kind of chance of getting in the playoffs and doing something, we're going to have to make a trade like for Gasol. because we're going to need somebody like that at some point, because it's not going to fly with what we got right now. No, it's not. Ken Birch is like a Serge Ibaka, but we need a Gasol still. We need a big guy. Not necessarily Gasol himself, like that kind of thing, but like a guy that can handle things like that. So, all right, let's see. Let's keep going. Gene, I would hate to see Scotty off the bench. I might actually turn on my TV for a season if that happened. Wow, man, that's pretty extreme. Well, even if he comes off the bench, man, what if he's still playing not 30 minutes a game? It's not always a big deal whether you start or not in some ways. Like, what if he's like a 6-man, like kind of guy that does really good things? I don't know. That seems like an extreme reaction to this, but we'll keep that in mind. All right. They are young and trying things. It's going to be up and down, but need to get better. The journey will be worth it. So don't get down. Man, I love your optimism. You're right. And it's true. Fred said it last night after the game. There's going to be ups and downs. And this is just it, because like they look like hot garbage as a team last night. Like we couldn't execute on offense. There's so many defensive breakdowns. There was like really ugly breaks. That one with Precious and Svi looked just really ugly. There were all kinds of different plays that I was just like, oh my gosh, we're awful. We're bad. We're not good. And it pissed me off. And the refs weren't helping either. I mean, I could do a ref manipulation right now, and it's the foul call on Tatum where they said he was in the act of shooting when he went up like this, and then later in the game, OG same play, and they said he wasn't shooting, so they took the ball to the side. That's my my ref manipulation of the game, but it doesn't even matter, because the refs were manipulating and helping them in all kinds of ways, but we weren't even close to even trying to compete in that game last night, regardless. So I won't say anything about the refs other than that call was very interesting. Those two next to each other. Like if you look at them both, the Tatum shooting when he brought up his arm like this, and they said, okay, you were in the act of shooting. They gave him free throws. And then the one late in the game with OG where he did the exact same motion and they made him take it to the side. Anyway, that's the one I'll say for today. Okay, let's see. MK47. I agree with him coming off the bench. Him and Delano off the bench. Yeah, that's a nice attack. You get such young energy. And like I said a couple of streams ago, Scotty on the bench can see things from that perspective. And I think he did this at FSU, is he saw what was going on in the game and what was needed, and he'd come in and he'd fill it in. Because he's that kind of guy. He fills in the holes. He's a glue guy. He's a garbage guy. He does all kinds of things to help the team win. Like that stuff he was doing where he was bumping down low and then doing little hooks over people last night, that was fantastic. And that just shows the aggressiveness of his scoring and his mentality. And he got to the line way more than anybody else last night on the Raptors. And he was making his free throws. He only missed like one free throw last night. I was really proud of Scotty. Scotty played a really good game last night. But that's the thing. He shouldn't be that guy doing that. That should have been OG or Pascal. Those guys could be doing that more and looking more like Scotty did last night. I would be a lot happier. I'd feel better about things, because that's one of the knocks on our three main guys, Fred, OG, and Pascal, that they're not real superstars. They're not really, really big-time players or even all-star level kind of players. They're just really good kind of players. But they fade away important times when they're important. And that's true to a degree. And that pisses me off, because I'd like one of them at least, to step up and be a real superstar, a bona fide superstar that can take over the game and help us win, even in tough games like last night. Because like that didn't happen. Nobody's stepping up. Nobody's making sure we make points. We get all these good defensive stops in the second half and get down the court, and we would miss. We just miss. We can't get back in the game if you can't make any shots, and you're down by 15 already. So really ugly, really, really ugly. Okay, let's see. Gene would try Fred VanVleet off the bench. Yeah, try anything. Like, especially if things just get really bad, just try anything. Like, Fred's good. And like I said, I think Fred played a good game last night. But, try anything. Try anything if you're not winning and you're having problems and issues and stuff. Yeah, I think MK is right, though. Our offense barely works without Fred. It doesn't. I mean, when we get Delano in there, the offense seems to score still. Like, it's doing okay. Like, Delano does a really good job of getting the basket and, like, causing the defense to collapse and then passing it out or stuff like that. And, Scotty, too. I don't know. We give Fred a lot of weight and credit, and he does do a lot of things. But once again, these guys are not earning the 35 minutes a game that they're playing right now. because their quality of like efficiency and what they're doing out there doesn't fit that amount of time. So they need to be more equal with the time out there because they're getting tired and they're blowing assignments and stuff like that. Wow, they're also missing shots. So it's just ugly basketball. It's really bad. Like last night pissed me off more than Brooklyn, and Brooklyn really pissed me off because they didn't try at times last night. Like they seemed like they gave up at certain points in the game last night, and I hated that. Because they haven't been like that in a long time. It has to be Scotty or we trade Pascal. Yeah, I mean, listen, he's going to do it whatever way he's going to do it. And it may just be this whole thing where he's just not going to play with centers this year again, like last year. And it's just going to piss me off like a good chunk of the year where, we might as well have Baines on our team right now is the way I feel right now. Okay, Gene. Yeah, unless Barnes elevates playing point, it would mess us up, but I'd still try it. Yeah. I think that, even if we don't, I guess adding Delano to the equation just makes the starting lineup problem even worse. But, Fred probably should be starting no matter what. I think MK's right that he's pretty essential in some ways because he did do a really good job of facilitating people last night. He was making good assists last night, and he was picking his right times to shoot, and he did shoot his threes pretty good last night. All the rest of them, Gary Trent, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with your three-point shot right now. Like, it's really not good in some ways. All right, they have Gill in the 905, 7-2 center. Also, trades are always an option, Masai. Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying is a trade. We have these guys, they're so good, but they're similar in position and similar in kind of thing, but that maybe where we're rich, we need to sell one of them and get somebody that it helps a deficiency that we have right now. And that's height. That's 7 feet. We need a 7-footer. Gene, I guess I can handle Scotty off the bench, but I think he's the future and shouldn't be on the bench. Well, Gene, what if we did this, bud? What if we just had him off the bench this year? Like, he started already. He's going to get like good minutes, good quality rotation minutes. He'll play a lot. He did it at FSU, and he was very successful off the bench for them. And, this may be the only year that he doesn't start because it's gone that way for guys like Pascal and OG. They start one year, then they didn't start the next year and that kind of stuff. And I think this guy, he just wants to do what's right for the team to win. And if he has to sit back, that's, that may be part of it. The jump ball was the most obvious ref. Oh yeah. They basically just handed it to Smart. You're exactly right, G. That's a good ref manipulation. And like, honestly, listen, I don't want to even get in too much with the referees last night because that's a whole other kit and caboodle. I just want to deal with the Raptors and how bad they looked because that's the first thing we got to fix because the ref stuff is stuff we can't control. We can talk about overcoming it and stuff like that. But the team played garbage. So the refs weren't – it wasn't even to the factor where the refs were the deciding factor because we were just playing so bad. But, yeah, that handoff to Marcus Smart was definitely a manipulation there. Gene. Especially since he's projected to be number 2 at Rookie of the Year. Yeah, we don't care about that award really, but if he gets it, he gets it. But I don't want to play him as stardom just for the fact that we want him to win Rookie of the Year. That's the wrong kind of reasoning for why we would do it. I think Raps are last for finishing at the rim or close to. Yeah, this is one of the things for sure. What you're saying, G, is there's such little areas of our offense and different things that we could clean up and be more efficient. We're going to be better and better and better. And I still believe that to a degree. But after seeing a game like last night, it makes you be like, oh, man, we got a lot of work to do. Or we just need some people to be assertive. I think the comment earlier that the team's being too nice to each other is part of it. That we just need some anger. We just need some aggressiveness. We need that edge like Kyle used to have. And we're lacking it in the team components right now. It's like we need a badass. We need a jerk. We need somebody who's got a little bit of a cockiness to them. And I think our team may be a little bit too nice. You're right. I think that's true. Like if man, I wish OG would just turn into some sort of angry cyborg man that just goes crazy on everybody. But yeah, these are stats that'll clean up. Like if we could get this fast breaks figured out, the spacing stuff figured out, and the chemistry stuff figured out, all our stats will go up offensively. But it was really hard to watch last night because we were struggling so hard to get points back on the board to try and come back. We'd get it down to maybe 9 points, and then they just shoot a couple threes, and it was 16 all over again. And then it just was really frustrating because they were playing good defense. They actually played really good defense in the second half. It's just they couldn't get anywhere with their offense to get back in the game, and that was a big problem. Yeah, all right, let's see. I think Raps are – yeah, okay, I just read that one. Sue, morning. Good morning, Sue. Happy to see you this morning. Can't lie, I had a tough time watching the game last night. Yeah, I had a tough time watching it too. And I really, in the second half, early, I was like, they're not going to win this game. Because, like, honestly, I could see them playing really good with the defense and stopping them, but they just had nothing on the offensive end. They just could not score. Nobody was finding the basket in the right way. And that's a problem. We need people to be aggressive and get scoring going for us, especially if we're behind. It just has to happen. Gene, if it gets us wins, then okay. Yeah, whatever we can do to win, right, Gene? That's what I'm saying. Like, I love these guys. I'm loyal to these guys. I want them to be on this team. But you know what? If you're playing like hot garbage, we need to trade you. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. And, I'm not going to speculate on who or when or how or for what. But, we have a couple of guys right now that are similar at the same position. And, one of them could be traded for a center. And that's all I'm saying right now. That's all I'm saying. That we can't get this figured out with these guys working together in an offense where it's efficient and they're just scoring like a triple barrel shotgun, different corners. That's not going to work. Then we need to ship one of these guys and get a center. And I think that's a big, huge deal. All right, Andrew, let's go. Yeah, we need to stomp the Sixers tonight. All right, I'll do it for that one. Let's go! All right. Yeah, I did a little bit of a preview already for the Sixers. They're really hurt. We need to capitalize on that. They lost to the Bucks in their last game. Andre Drummond's still a 2020 machine right now. And, they're starting guys like Korkmaz. And I don't even know some of these guys that they've been starting because they're so, less with players right now. And Ben Simmons ain't showing up tonight. So, yeah, this is a must-win game. I said earlier this week of these 3 Atlantic Division opponents, I wanted to get 2 out of 3. Well, we were 0 for 2 so far, so we need to at least get this one because I didn't want to go 0 for 3 in these games at all. No. And we don't want to be 6 and 7 at the end of the night. We need to be 7 and 6 like Sean Bradley. So, all right, let's see. Andrew, at least Scotty looked great last night. Yeah, he was getting to the line. He was crashing boards. He was doing nice little stuff near the basket with shots. But, which we shouldn't be relying on him. He wasn't projected to be like one of our most important guys this year. He was supposed to just be a rookie and learning and stuff. And I'm really disappointed in the guys who should be leading this team right now because they're not leading this team in the proper way or in the right ways. This is going to be all fun and games behind the scenes. Everybody's fun and happy and friends, but you need to go out there and really step up and say, listen, we're the Toronto Raptors and we're trying to win every single game. And, it's not just our defense and our rebounding. We need superstars to step up and score. We need Pascal Siakam to flirt with getting 40. We need OG Anunoby to make most of his shots. We need Fred VanVleet to continue to make good plays and get the ball distributed to everybody and hit his open shots when he has them. Because Scotty Barnes is doing everything right in a lot of ways on his part. But man, our scoring was so anemic last night. It was really, really frustrating. Really frustrating. Kenrick, good morning, man. Good to see you. We have to shoot better than 6 or 7 3-point. Yeah. We got the open shots, and we could have made more than 6 3-pointers, but it's just not happening. This has happened in the last 2 games. We get no 3-pointers against them, the other team, and it's just garbage. I hate this. I don't think the Celtics are that good. I think they're still a pretender. I think that they didn't play that good either, but we just played worse. Like, the Celtics didn't look good. There were a lot of dumb things that they did. They were careless with the ball. They were missing shots too. We were messing up Tatum. We held Tatum to a good number for the most part for the night. But it's all for naught if you're going to play even worse, like hot garbage. So, yeah. All right, let's see. Andrew, no one knows who the number 1 option is yet, especially when Siakam's still getting back in form. Yeah, I think that Pascal is just default, still the number one option. We're just waiting for him to fill right back into that role. And he's just like not got his rhythm. He's not putting his will on the game like he should before. And we're just in that limbo kind of period between him getting fully back and like our team's trying to work around him still. I think the worst part of it is, as we've been saying, is that he's starting at 5 and that he's playing our center again. And that's the worst part of this is like, I can deal with all the other stuff, but we should really have a center out there with him. And that's why I don't want to have just 2 centers, because when Kem goes down, we got Precious, and Precious isn't even really a center. So we need at least one other guy, a third big guy that can be another center, a real center. Like a 7-foot guy would be perfect. Andrew, I think that is a problem, a big problem in what I meant by being too nice and passive. Yeah, they're definitely too nice and too passive with things. OG needs a streak. Like I said, he needs to be like Mike yesterday. He needs to have, like, even if he manufactures bullshit in his head where he's like, Jason Tatum said that my mom smells or something like that. And then he goes out there and he just like messes them up, even if it's just manufactured bullshit in his head. I really want him to start doing that and thinking that way. He just looks like he doesn't look engaged. He doesn't look involved in some ways. Sometimes I feel like OG's like floating around in his head somewhere else, thinking about something totally different than the NBA and playing in a game. So I really feel like he needs to dial in and get focused and understand what he needs to be doing and really exert that energy in a smart way. Because I just don't see that. Yeah, he needs to demand the ball more. He needs to there were times when he had the ball last night where he could have passed out and there was an open shot. Where he's getting double. He was too late to pass out of the double team coming at him. And that he really messed that up too. That's why I feel like he's lethargic. Like I feel like he's not like moving or thinking fast enough in the game. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's smoking pot like I am or something like that. I hope not. But like he needs to really get awake and aware and have more of a court sense. Like Delano Banton and Scotty Barnes both have a very good court vision of where everybody is all around. That's why Scotty can make these drop-offs and stuff like that. OG doesn't do that. OG's not very good at passing out of the double team, I've noticed sometimes. Like he holds the ball too long and they get to him too quick, and he just tries to bowl through 2 people where he should have passed the ball right away out of the double team and try to beat the double team to get the open man. But I haven't seen him do that. He messed that up a couple times last night. OG needs to demand the ball more. Precious had a rough game. Precious was okay. Precious rebound really good, and he had defense and stuff. He didn't score a lot. That's the whole thing. He didn't score a lot, but his defense and his rebounding was good. And honestly, I think he should have started last night. He should have started the game last night against. We would have done better against Horford and Williams earlier if Precious had been starting. Like, I really believe that. Kenrick, we have to stop double teaming non-threats and giving up the corners. Yes, there was a lot of that last night. You're exactly right. And they were pointing that out too, the Alvin and Matt. Giving up the corners, boxing out, rebounding and boxing out will be important tonight. Yes, very important tonight for sure. Like the battle of the boards and the glass with the Sixers is going to be important. And I want to see these offensive rebounds. Is really Kem Birch our offensive rebounder that was getting us these amazing stats this whole time? Is now that he's out, we can't offensive rebound at all? We don't hit the glass at all? Well, if nobody's going to hit the glass, Nick Nurse, why don't you put Justin Champagne in? I'll bet you he will hit that glass and do some stuff for you in that way. That's the thing. He's got all these different kinds of role player weapons that he could, even if he just puts out 3 established guys that he can count on and 2 like kind of learning guys and see what they can do and give them a chance because they're hungry. I just don't like, I mean, he did rotate a little bit okay last night, but there was that point where he had 2 point guards out there at the same time. And then also not starting a center. These are like my biggest problems with what he did last night, Nick Nurse. But yeah, let's see. OG just started getting double teamed this season. So you will learn quickly. I think he's been double teamed. Well, maybe not. You might be right. I want to think that he was double teamed more in other times, but probably not. Maybe because of playing alongside Pascal, but maybe you're right that he has to learn it. Andrew, I hope Masai is working on a Goran Boucher trade. Boucher looks lost out there. Yeah, Boucher, he missed all of his shots again. He's not hitting his 3, obviously, really bad. But I'm a big fan. I really love his block shots. I really love what he does, like for defense, even though he's not a really good down low defender. He's like a good roving defender. I don't want to give up on him necessarily. I think that we can get something more for one of the bigger guys, and that's where we have too much. I think we have too much with Scotty on the team now. We might have too much to have Pascal, OG, and Scotty, and that one of them may not be completely necessary. I hate saying that, but like that's where I see we have an overabundance. And we may need to trade one of them just to get something for a center, because I really do feel like we need a center badly, 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 badly. Kenrick, yes, Champagne, it's good. It's a back-to-back, so I hope the youth will get a good run. Yes, use your bench. And the other good news is Utah's going to be back very soon. Apparently, he might be back for the Detroit game, or at least he'll be back next week for Portland in the first game. So Yuta Watanabe is going to be back on the court, and that's going to just make it even more complicated with the rotations. And I just hope that Nick Nurse realizes that he gets the most out of his players when he plays them in short bursts. Like play them for 5-6 minute periods, take them right out, switch them in, keep switching them in and out. Don't let these guys play whole quarters. Don't let these guys like get to the point where they're holding their knees and they're because, he did a pretty good job in the second half of rotating. Like, I'd like to see, Scotty and Fred on one unit and like maybe, or no, Scotty and like OG in one unit and Pascal and Fred in one unit and switch them out. Like where two of the guys are in each team, 2 are on the bench, 2 are in the court. And then you have the role players around them otherwise, like a center and then 2 other guys. That's what I'd like to see. Gene's done with Boucher. It's sad. I really want him to set up and get going. We need a center to deal with Robert Williams. We need a center to deal with Andre Drummond. We need a center to deal with Porzingis. We need a center to deal with Jokic. We need a center to deal with Al Horford. So it's like, we need a center. When Raps play fast, they win. When the game slows down and allows the other teams to set, they lose. Yeah, okay, I believe that too. And they did have some good transition last night at times. They did get on the break a little bit, not as much as we would have liked. But I think this is true. G's right. When a half court set, we're really bad. Like if this is more of a full court transition kind of game, we do really well. And part of the problem is, like I said, the refs are dictating the game to be slower and to get like more half courty and stuff like that. And it helps these older teams, and it kind of messes up our advantages of being young and energetic and stuff like that when the game's so slowed down. So we need to get way better in half court because that's the way the playoffs get. And that's also the more and more you get into the season, there's going to be more half court kind of things happening. So we need to really work on that. Our half court offense and just like playing a slowed down game sometimes, because it's happened. Like in the last game, it happened in Brooklyn. And then last night too, it was getting a little slowed down too. All right, Gene, aren't we one of the worst in the league when it comes to scoring on set defense? Yeah, I believe that. I think that's true. And that, like I said, that's an on the download thing that's going on in the NBA this year is that the whole idea of having the defense is set to deal with people. Because like we were maybe doing a lot of things last year in transition and getting a lot of points that way. But now this year it's about with the Euro foul that Derrick Rose Euro foul that New York did when we were getting in this transition, or then the refs just calling crazy like travel calls or like, that's a foul. And when we're just about to get a dunk and jam it down and stuff like that. I hate that kind of stuff. But it's true. We have a really hard time once the defense is set finding a shot. And I don't understand why. It's like we're using screens. We've got dynamic offensive players, and Fred's out there. Why can't you distribute it? Why can't you guys find the open shot? Why can't you do that kind of stuff like you used to be able to do? It's like you look inept on offense, and it's not good. It's really not good. MK, Precious set lazy screens again. Birch is very important for us right now. Yeah, Birch is super important. I think I hate how important he is, how important he is, and how he's not playing today. He doesn't even look like he's that hurt. He's sitting there, and nothing to say. All right, Darren, you missed the game. You were working. Oh, you were a lucky one. You were spared. You were spared the Axeman with the hood from last night. Well, all right. On that note, I'm going to close up shop today. Guys, thanks for watching Raptor Freak and my horrible, pissed off reaction to the game against the Celtics last night. Let's get this out of the way and see what goes on with Philly tonight in Philly. We really need to win this game, though. And if we lose tonight, tomorrow is going to be a really weird live stream. I'm going to tell you that right now. If we lose to a shorthanded Philadelphia team, tonight. And it looks anything like this game or the Brooklyn game before, where it doesn't look like we're trying or we're inept on offense, or we don't have a center, we don't play center kind of stuff. I'm going to be pretty mad tomorrow, and it may be entertaining. You guys might see the Raptor Freak really like go off. Like I'm not really going off today. I could be going off, and I might be going off on Nick Nurse and the players if they don't give a good effort tonight and really make it hard to lose to Philadelphia tonight. Oh yeah. Okay, guys. Andrew, let's get it. Yes. Let's go! Oh! Beat Philadelphia. Like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever. Don't share these ones where we lost. Maybe we'll share the ones when we win.